Welcome everybody to another edition of Drink While You Think. I am Kenji.
I'm Matthew.
Changing it up a little bit here. We're usually never together for these, but now we're really not together. You're rocking it in the Acuity headquarters there in the ATL. I am in Phoenix, which is my first time in Arizona.
Yeah. That makes sense. If you're in Arizona, you got to wear sunglasses.
Got to wear sunglasses. Found a cool brew pub. Fits the theme of our Drink While You Think. See it back there behind there? Pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
Arizona Wilderness is what it's called. Some good beers. So, tell me what you're drinking today.
Well, first of all, thank goodness for the clients in our co-working space. So I didn't want to do the same old thing. So I went to one of our clients in our co-working space to see what beer they had, and I stole one of their beers. So I'm doing the Sierra Nevada Coffee Stout, which sounds like right up my alley.
Oh, dude, that is so up your alley.
So
it's a cool looking bottle. Pop that bad boy open.
Very exciting.
Nice. How is it?
Oh yeah. This is gonna be my kind of day.
It's gonna be kind of day.
Been a long. Things are looking up.
Let's put it in there.
Oh yeah, the Sierra Nevada Coffee Stout there.
There it is. That it?
Oh,
that one. That's over here. Okay.
I don't know if it's a 20.
Okay, is that the one right there? Nice. Sorry for that.
That's the one right there. 6.2.
Okay. I've already pulled up mine. We'll do the rating again at the end.
Okay.
Pretty good rating, 3.71.
Yeah.
Here's mine. Check this one out. Here's what I'm drinking.
The White Canyon Blonde Stout.
A blonde stout. Is that weird?
Yeah, I haven't heard of any. I
haven't either. I'm super excited. I'm waiting. I lost the head on there while I was kind of waiting to get going with you, but that's good. That's good. It's not. I mean, it's.
It is fairly muted. Not my favorite from the Arizona Wilderness. Oh, that's the first reviewer, not you.
Is that what it says? Oh, that's not me. I didn't put that.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. David W. here, 18 hours ago had this. Yeah, it doesn't quite taste like a stout. It's surprising when you drink it, but it's cool. Something different, right? You gotta enjoy that. Something a little bit different. So, Arizona stout. Well, cool. Let's get into it, man. I got a few topics. I'm a little bit all over the place today.
Awesome.
We'll do it based on some things here. First of all, I was going to pull up a little quick shout out to one of our buddies, Johnny Bird, John Birdsong. I saw this. John did a quick blog post about calling it insights per minute. This is for you and me here for Drink While You Think. And he was listening to the podcast on the Andreessen Horowitz. He found the podcast off of Andreessen Horowitz blog, which you and I were talking about that exact blog last week. About for folks who kind of want to understand venture capital. So anyway, we'll tie over to what John was talking about. But when you're doing podcasts, I think I always counts for it. What you really should be looking at is number of insights per minute. So I think that's for us. We got to get faster. Any guesses on last week's video? How long we were?
We were probably we went real long last week, if I remember, like 35 minutes or something.
30 close, 33. That's been one of our first. It's been over, without any guess, it's been over 30 minutes. We got to dial it back, dude. We got to get quicker, or else we got to get way more insights.
Well, we had at least 3 insights, 33 minutes.
One insight for every 10 minutes. So anyway, I thought it was a good reminder. Cool tie-in to stuff we talked about last week. Also, yeah, if you're looking at venture stuff too, follow John Birdsong. He's a good dude. He writes about some cool stuff here in the local Atlanta market.
And I do have it on good authority from his Twitter account that he was successfully tied a ponytail for his daughter on the first try.
I saw that too, man. It's funny. But you know what? Also, I think there's been some cool stuff around. There's a little bit. I wasn't planning on getting into this, the whole 𝐶𝐫𝐢𝐧𝐤 thing, but there's been some kind of cool hashtags going around about being a girl dad.
Mm-hmm.
Dad of girls. And I think I thought I saw that old Johnny Bird hashtag that. So some of the cool things, I guess, that us as dads of daughters get to do, which are fun.
It's awesome.
All right, so let's talk about Phoenix and
Phoenix.
where I was yesterday.
Yeah, tell us about Netsuite. Tell us about the golf tournament.
Yeah, we got some of that we're going to talk about here. So let me show you a little picture here. Check that out.
That's a golf tournament?
That's a picture I took right there yesterday. Look at that. I mean, is that crazy? Look at as a par 3 golf hole entirely surrounded, like just by these boxes. It is insane.
It looks like a fake rendition.
There's me. Yeah, there's me.
Really?
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Look how nice that is out there. But yeah, there's me, proving I was there. Look at if you can kind of see behind me a bit, like look at that's the tee box.
Wow.
You can see like there's the Phoenix Suns gorilla out there running around. The quarterback for the Bills,
nice.
Josh Allen, had come through there earlier. He did Bills Mafia style, put a guy through a table. This is all happening at a golf tournament. I mean, it's just nuts. I mean, even I was looking at this, you know, how the Phoenix Open became the biggest party in golf. You can see kind of an aerial shot. Look at that aerial shot. Like, look at that.
That's crazy.
Is that not just insane? I guess, all right, here's the tie-in. It's, how do you tie that back into accounting? Or maybe I'll lead up to the question. But like, you and I are fans of sports. In fact, you and I have been super fortunate, right? Because you and I both gotten to go to one of the most famous, certainly golf tournaments or sporting events in the world. Masters. You've been how many times? A bunch.
Probably half a dozen times. I didn't get to live on the course, but
back to my old days of public accounting, I did get to do some pretty interesting things with Augusta National and the Masters. But like this tournament I was at yesterday, the Phoenix Open, the race finish at Phoenix Open, it is the opposite of Augusta National and the Masters. I mean, it's just completely the opposite. It's unbelievable. It is, like I'm telling you, like there's people, I mean, people are hitting bad shots and, you know, people are heckling. They encourage heckling. They're playing music the entire time. Like AC/DC, Beastie Boys are playing while people are teeing off. People who don't get, I watched a guy, they forced him to shotgun a beer because he had a bad tee shot. I mean, it's out of control. You know, the Masters, right? It's condition unlike any other. I mean, it's totally formal. Yeah. So I don't know. And I guess in thinking about that, like there was a question a lot of us were talking about tournament, like, is this good for golf? Like, is this what people want? Is this good for it? Like, or, you know, what about tradition? Does tradition matter? So I don't know. Maybe give your take on like what you think about tradition, either certainly in sports. And I kind of want to bring it back to what we think about it in our profession as well too. What's its tradition's place, and when do you say, forget it, and you?
I have to say the Masters is a great experience. So I would normally be like, yeah, this is great for sports, but I think they both have a place, right? I think it's great that you can have a throwback tournament like the Masters where, you know, there's $1 for Cokes and $2 for a sandwich, and everybody's very respectful and into a, like, almost like pretending like the old times were like that, which they weren't like, but I do love the mixing it up and having I think it's a little bit for everything. I like when hosts of tournaments do things. I like this at weddings in particular. When the wedding reflects the hosts, like the people getting married, and like you just couldn't pick them out and do it. So I love, that's awesome about the golf tournament to me. That means it's a great golf tournament or a great sporting event. Like, it doesn't make sense probably anywhere else other than right there, right? Same thing about Augusta.
How would you, okay, so move that in the context of accounting. Now, I know we can't equate golf into accounting. I mean, it's golf is something you can choose to get involved with. So we were saying yesterday, like, how many of our kids play golf or are interested in golf these days? I mean, like, none. Like, not really.
Yeah.
But they like things like Topgolf. And if they saw like this event, they'd be like, oh, golf's really cool. Like there was a guy out freestyle rapping for each golfer who came up, like kind of making fun of them, rapping while they hit. You're like, I sent a video of it to my son. He's like, that's actually pretty cool.
Oh, that's fun.
And so we talked about like this whole concept of like, I think this would probably bring more people back to it. But I guess I'm thinking about it. Okay, here's what we're trying to tie it into accounting. Like we're pretty traditional as accountants. I would gamble to say that you would agree with like, yes, breaking from tradition is probably a good thing when it comes to the profession, or what? What do you think clients want? What do you think the profession needs?
Well, I think a lot of the profession is centered around, a lot of problem with the profession that's centered around really big companies, right? A lot of the rules that we hear about, the tax laws, have to do with whatever Google's doing or Coca-Cola's doing. So I think for the sub $5 million revenue companies, we got to break all the rules, right? We got to make a firm that makes sense for them, that isn't stodgy, and you've got to be prepared. If accounting is the language of business, we've got to teach this new, round of entrepreneurs that language, and they're speaking it differently. They want to receive it differently. So I think that's the big challenge, right? If you're kind of our theory, I guess I feel like at least what you and I talk about all the time is like helping entrepreneurs. Well, that's a big range of people, There's 6 million small business owners in the United States. Like, it's not one thing for everybody. So again, to each their own. But I like about Acuity is that, you can't just say we were anybody. Like, that's just not any other accounting firm. You can pluck us out and be like, oh yeah, put another 2 people. And it's like just any accounting firm, I feel like, which I think is something to be proud of. So
I think that's a good perspective. I think, there are, in certain ways, traditions are comforting. I think there are times when businesses, and probably to your point, Fortune 500, some of the big ones are like, listen, we're trying to mitigate risk. We don't want risk. We need our accountants' help for that. And they're probably going to look for something pretty traditional. But yeah, there's so many businesses in this day and age where you help them more means you got to adapt to their needs. You got to be more creative in the way that you approach their challenges and needs. So I guess a bit of both. I mean, it's probably, I knew, like, walking around the Phoenix Open yesterday, I'm like, oh my gosh, I know a ton of people that would have an absolute blast during this. You and I have kind of fun doing whatever. We're a little bit weird like that.
Yeah.
There's some people who are traditional golfers who are like, there ain't no way I'm going to that event. Like, that's not golf. I'll admit, for being there for however long I was there, 6, 7, 8 hours, I felt like I watched the least amount of golf I've ever done at a golf course. For sure. But anyway, here's a random one for you. So this was a discussion we had yesterday. Again, in the midst of not watching golf and all the carrying on or whatever, me and a guy from Netsuite brought us out. Netsuite, we're kind of taking a look at potentially partnering with them in the future about, just, is there a place for outsourced accounting on a larger, more mid-size, bigger system? So we're kind of exploring that a little bit. We'll want to ask more about that in a minute. But so I was with a NetSuite guy yesterday, and also a guy who's a partner. So NetSuite guy was Ben, and a partner who's been working with NetSuite for years, named Dirk out of Michigan. And Dirk said, okay, guys, show me the home screen of your phone. So we each had to pull out our home screen. So you got to do this too, okay? I don't know if you can see it let's see if I'll hold mine up. So you can see mine. It's not important to see everything there. No. You got to go to the app. Sorry, apps. I see your awesome family.
My family. Okay. Home screen of my phone. The apps. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, scroll. Okay, pretty good. I see one. Go to the very first page. You're supposed to go to the very first page. Is that your first page?
That's my first page.
Oh, it is. Okay. You got how many alerts showing? How many red dots?
26. No, only 2 of them have alerts set. Lyft, I don't know how to turn off, and then my email.
I've got I'm about like you. I've got a few here and there alerts. So we had this big discussion about alerts and how people manage their home screen, right? So, and this guy, Dirk, was like, I don't allow me to have red dots. Like I see them and I have to crush them. They have to go away. We're like, are you like a maniac? Like, are you crazy? So everyone kind of started getting into sharing their phones. Like, how does your phone look and how do you manage alerts? Do you have an approach there? I'll tell you what Dirk's approach is. I mean, not only just crushing it, but like, do you have an approach for how you get rid of the red dots?
I turned off all of the notification on everything except for text for me. And then I don't worry about the dots. I go to the dots when I'm at a computer designated times now. So
yeah, we were all making fun of Dirk a little bit because we're like, you got to be crazy. And then he had an approach to it though. Like, so he had a way to do it. And so he, where did I put it up here? Oh yeah, he does like this. Have you ever read that book, Getting Things Done? You heard about that one?
no.
This is the guy who does like all the batching of activities. I think it's David Allen. And so I guess basically the way it works is he doesn't sit there and Dirk does not check his phone all the time. But when he chooses to check it, he's like, I knock it all out. Everything needs to go somewhere in the right spot. So they don't go back and forth. So it's interesting in the sense of like, we didn't really like, again, I thought he was crazy. I was like, you're nuts, dude. You must be the most like, and he's not at all. He's actually pretty calm about things. He's like, no, when I go in though, if I'm going to look at it, I'm going to take action and I'm going to crush all the red dots. So I was like, oh, that's kind of an interesting concept.
Yeah. I kind of like that, but I have to do it less frequently. I have to like wait till I'm sitting a lot of times and do that. So if I go in and start messing with it, then it's like, oh crap. Like it's like something I have to do later, and I don't know how to. If I'm on my cell phone, sometimes it's like, oh crap, especially Slack.
Yeah. The reason, I mean, it's kind of a fun conversation. We were all talking about this yesterday, but also it popped into my head again too because, another person I probably mentioned before, Jeff Hillemeyer, who works with my wife. I forgot. I saw this today. Jeff posted. Every year he goes through and he shows his screen, like how like his home screen, because he kind of has a view of like what's on your home screen is kind of what kind of matters to you. So I always find it interesting. I won't go through all of it, but like Jeff has done this like every year for the past few years of like, yeah, how I organize my home screen kind of says something about me and how I work and how I think. That's so good. Anyway, home screens, like it's a weird 24 hours of like people being interested in their home screens. All right. Let's bring it on home here. Here's my last thing I had. I don't know if you had anything, but I guess as we talk about NetSuite, we're considering this partnership. I guess the question that comes to my mind that I'm not sure about is there a size of company, a target prospective client of ours, where it doesn't make sense outsourcing your accounting? Like you get to a certain size and you go, oh no, I don't need to use some firm like Acuity who does fractional outsource work. I'm just going to hire all those roles internally. Is there what is your take on that? Like, I feel like I'm trying to understand this for us and whether it makes sense to be moving up into other market, like higher up, or no, really, because in some ways you could say, hey, the land where people start going on to things like NetSuite and bigger ERPs is really where that's probably the time that maybe an internal accounting team should take things over. But I don't know. How would you answer that question? Is there a size? Is there a
Well, I mean, I've said, like, kind of when we started, I felt like, 3 million in revenue, together 6 years ago, like 3 million in revenue was kind of the size where you should hire your first accounting staff. 6 years later, I think that's the number's 5 million.
Okay.
I think the big trend is that technology is just getting better. And, if you push that along, it's going to be 10 million in 2 years based on how fast technology is moving. So that's a lot of companies in the United States,
Yeah.
Huge number that are just not going to need accounting people full time. And I think NetSuite's a part of that, in that, in the not too distant future, which is why we're looking at it right now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe already, maybe that 3 to 10 million right now doesn't need people full time. I just don't know enough about it yet to conclude that. I guess. What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I think we've already seen some of our clients, right, that we've been supporting on either, QuickBooks or on Xero, who've moved up to something like a NetSuite or an Intact. And they've said, yeah, we're moving systems, but can't you guys continue to support us, right? Help us. So we've seen it, experienced it with our own client base. I guess the question would be, is that unique? I mean, how many more of those are out there who are like, we don't ever really want to, as a core competency of our business, have to really focus on accounting. And even we may get to 20 million, 50, 100 million in revenue, and we want to have good systems and processes, but like, we don't want to have to build that core competency internally. So it's a little different than people historically thought. So I don't know. I'm not sure yet how big that market is. In fact, without getting too in the weeds, I mean, there's multiple different NetSuite partnerships. And most of the folks I've met here are resellers, right? Or VARs. That makes sense. I mean, that's been the way that you sold big ERP systems. We're looking at what's called their BPO, their business process outsourcing. That's relatively new for them. And there aren't even any other BPO partners who are here. So I said that. I said, I don't know, guys, whether that's a great sign. Like, we're going to get into something maybe early before other people do. We've been pretty good. You and I have been pretty good about that with Acuity, and the team has, about getting into things earlier. But I also don't know if that also is maybe a sign that, maybe the market's not quite there either,
Yeah. Probably a little both. Based on our appetite, we'll probably do something stupid if somebody else is doing it. So that'd be great. It'll be fun.
It'll be fun.
And you'll get the blow-by-blow on Drink While You Think.
All right, what else do you got, man? Anything else there?
And I'm drinking out of a fire hose here. We got one of our clients in town, working with them and helping them out this week. So I really don't have anything big for us, man.
Well, I highly recommend.
Although we did set a date for Acuitycon.
Oh, we did.
Okay, I don't know.
Acuitycon, September 29th and 30th. I'm not sure people care about that, but maybe you would. I mean, we care about it. It's a big deal for us. And I think we'll have some interesting Drink While You Think surprises around Acuitycon for sure.
Yeah.
But I will say this, man. I love to travel. I love getting out. Like, this is a cool part of the world. I know this is kind of where you grew up in the Southwest, but Arizona's cool, man. Phoenix is awesome. Looking forward to getting to see two good friends, Jan and Liz, tomorrow morning, who are firm owners. Leary's out here. I think he's over in Tucson.
Yep. I was thinking we should take a page out of their book and we'd tell people we'll read if they comment on, can they comment on our beers or something? So if you comment on our beers, like if you give Leary and Blake a review, like they read it out loud, you comment on our beers or comment, do we have a page or something on there?
I guess so. We've got this thing. We don't know how it works yet. We still, by the way, I was going to show you. Oh, well, you can't see here. We still have no friends.
If you want.
We have no friends yet. So we still have no friends.
No friends? Oh, well, if you're even a friend, we'll shut you out.
So join us again. Just on Untapp'd. Just something fun to do. See what we're drinking, drink with us, make some comments. But yeah, don't comment about accounting stuff. Who cares about that? But talk about the beer you're interested in drinking or whatever drink.
We'll read it.
So, all right. So give me your I'm gonna go do your rating here.
4.3.
You want to go? Say that again.
4.4. 4.4.
I don't know if I can get that. I got to do it in
4.5.
I round you up to 4 or 5.
Yep.
Wow, you're a fan. Okay, there's that one. Done. We got some notification. I'm gonna go. Let's see. On mine, the White Canyon Blonde Stout. I'm gonna go 3.5.
Okay. That's fair.
It's not a great stout. It's interesting. It's just different. It doesn't have a crazy flavor profile, but something interesting. So anyway, follow along, jump in here with us. I'll see you back in Atlanta next week.
Sounds like a plan, man.
Take care, everybody. See ya.
Thank you, everybody.